Lobes and Gentlegrams, welcome to today's episode of Jermaine in Gentle Land. The culturally cosplaying counterfeit Canadian phony Montana got clobbered by Kung Fu Kenny, while Pushti and Rihanna dismantled the belligerent BBL buffoon. Amidst the big three, Jermaine justifiably jetted out of the juggernaut Jew, apologizing to the sharp sniping assassin for even daring to attack him on the mic. J. Cole's apology left fans wondering, will this crumble his career like scattered ashes? Or can he cool the chaos and win back his core fan base? After alienating Aubrey as the sole remaining opponent of the orthopedic Hooper, Cole found himself in an unprecedented dilemma. The once calm, collected artist responded to a warning shot with rare confrontation, critiquing his peers' catalog within the self-proclaimed Big Three. He questioned conceptual masterpieces like To Pimp a Butterfly and Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers to assert himself as the true torchbearer, the one who could say, "F the Big Three, it's just Big Me." For years, Cole's bubbling hunger and competitive spirit suggested he was ready to step up. In fact, he seemed more prepared to battle than both Drake and Kendrick. While Kendrick sent the warning shot, Cole was first with a full-fledged diss track. Drake remained silent, and before his ghostwriters could respond, Cole stood on the biggest stage of his career, Dreamville Festival, in front of 50,000 fans, apologizing to Kendrick. He admitted his diss wasn't aligned with his true path, revealing sleepless nights and regret. To many, this move disrespected hip-hop's competitive essence. Others, myself included, saw it as a sign of humanity and authenticity, aligning with the Cole we knew before 2018. This moment underscored Cole's struggle, defining greatness beyond rivalry, prioritizing authenticity over brash bars. However, Cole's recent release, Might Delete Later, contradicts this sentiment.
How many people think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest to ever touch microphone? Dreamville, y'all love Kendrick Lamar, correct? As do I. So I just want to come up here and be like, that was the lamest, goofiest shit. And it made me feel like 10 years ago when I was moving incorrectly. And I pray that God align me back up on my purpose and on my path. You know what I mean? I pray that Kendrick really didn't feel no way. And if he did, my chin out. Take your best shot. I'm going to take that in the chin, boy. Do what you do. It's love. I pray that y'all are like, forgive the misstep and then I can get back to my true path. Because I ain't going to lie to y'all. The past 2 days felt terrible. It let me know how good I've been sleeping for the past 10 years.
Boasting about destroying rappers while backing out of rap beef. Freddie Gibbs and Joey Badass joined the critics, calling out Cole's inconsistency. If Drake taught us anything, a comeback on the charts is possible despite beef losses. But Kendrick's influence remains unshakable. Cole, always a people pleaser, now faces scrutiny. He can no longer convince us he's the big bad boogeyman at hip-hop's peak while avoiding the competition. This identity struggle isn't new. In 2010, during the blog era, the hip-hop landscape was dominated by Lil Wayne's protégés, Drake and Nicki Minaj, Kanye's Big Sean, and Rick Ross's Maybach Music. Cole, signed to Roc Nation, was Jay-Z's hopeful protégé but lacked major radio hits to justify an album release. Unlike Drake, whose So Far Gone revolutionized mixtapes and top charts, Cole focused on crafting a classic debut rather than chasing radio success. Jay-Z, ever the businessman, needed Cole to deliver hits. The label era required quantifiable buzz, radio play, physical sales, and mainstream exposure. While Drake's rise was inevitable, Cole's path was slower, focused on lyrical depth rather than immediate impact. Fans and industry executives constantly compared him to Drake, with Jay-Z himself using Drake as a benchmark for Cole's potential. Fast forward to today, Cole's battle between authenticity and dominance continues. He spent years declaring his greatness, but when challenged he stepped back. Is this hypocrisy, delusion, or a justified evolution? That's what we'll break down next. But first, Lobes and Gentlegrams. J. Cole was at an All-Star Weekend after-party when Jay-Z asked Drake to give him a hit. Cole later reflected on how embarrassing this moment was in his audio series. It was a pivotal point in his career. He needed to prove himself. Jay-Z doubted his production skills, and while peers like Wiz Khalifa and Big Sean were thriving, Cole struggled to break through. Jay-Z connected him with pop producers, but Cole found the results uninspiring. Only when he returned to his authentic sound did he create his first hit. Workout. flipping a Kanye sample. Even then, Jay-Z wasn't fully convinced. However, Cole exceeded expectations, selling over 220,000 copies in his debut week. He learned that staying true to himself was the key to success. Cole's struggles continued with industry expectations. On his second album, he apologized to Nas for making Work Out to please Jay-Z, reflecting his battle between authenticity and mainstream appeal. Kendrick Lamar's debut reinforced to Cole that success came from being genuine. That realization led him to create 2014 Forest Hills Drive, which had no radio hits but became his most successful and acclaimed album. Fast forward to 2024, Cole found himself in another moment of pressure, the beef with Kendrick. He admitted that engaging in it felt inauthentic, much like his earlier struggles to appease the industry. He had grown past chasing validation, evident in past songs like False Prophets and Everybody Dies, where he openly critiqued the rap industry and called out figures like Kanye. Over time, Cole found clarity, embracing his strengths and evolving into a respected figure in hip-hop. His feature run from 2018 to 2023 solidified his standing. While Drake had the charts and Kendrick had the critics, Cole's greatness came from his relentless self-improvement. On Heaven's EP, he acknowledged being placed third behind Drake and Kendrick but embraced his path, knowing his impact extended beyond mainstream accolades. Cole ultimately realized that true greatness wasn't about battles or social media approval but about artistic integrity. This philosophy shaped his response to the 2024 beef, refusing to engage in a way that didn't align with his values. It was a full-circle moment, proving that Cole's strength was always in staying true to himself. J. Cole is at a crossroads between authenticity and competition. He resists social media hype, critics, and labels chasing hits, yet has a deep drive to be the best. His frustration with not being crowned the greatest leads to overcompensation, constantly rapping about being the best but avoiding direct shots. This tension played out when he initiated a rap battle, only to apologize 6 days later after public sentiment turned. Cole's dilemma is clear: to be the greatest, he must stay true to himself, but also take risks. His peak confidence was evident on Johnny P's Caddy, 2022, with Benny the Butcher, where he asserted himself as hip-hop's savior. Lines like, "The real one's here. I put your favorite rapper's neck in a noose," emphasized his authenticity and skill. At that time, Kendrick Lamar was returning from a 5-year hiatus, choosing introspection over dominance with Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. While Cole aimed to revive hip-hop, Kendrick rejected the savior role. Ironically, on 7-Minute Drill, Cole rapped, "Damn was your classic, that was your prime. I was trailing right behind, I just now hit mine." Cole's 2021 album, The Off-Season, marked his most confident era, delivering hits, elite rapping, and Dreamville's rise. His feature run peaked in late 2023 with The Secret Recipe and First Person Shooter, where he addressed manufactured beefs and reaffirmed his dominance, rapping, "Right now I feel like Muhammad Ali." Despite Drake acknowledging Cole's verse as the best of the year, Kendrick responded directly to Cole's Big Three mention with, "F the Big Three, it's just Big Me." This was Kendrick challenging Cole to prove his claims in battle. As the feud unfolded, Cole attempted a comeback, leaning into his strengths. But the question remained, could he truly cement himself as the greatest?
I think Drake is a talented dude, but I feel like he's overrated. Why do you think his buzz is so big, yet cats like you, who I feel are like more talented than him, still ain't got that shine yet?
I can't co-sign none of that, but it's just how things happen, man. His stars lined up. It was supposed to happen like that for him. Fans shouldn't get mad at that. Like, this was destined for him. Like, my buzz isn't that big because it's not supposed to be that big. I'm not supposed to come in the game like that. That's not my path.
Cole's obsession with reviving a dying sport defined his prime, but Kendrick Lamar returned a year later and redefined impact. Kendrick dominated culture, charts, and critics in ways never seen before, breaking streaming and Billboard records, winning 5 Grammys, and delivering iconic moments like the Super Bowl performance, the "Not Like Us" video, and uniting his region with the pop-out. His album, GNX, went #1, had 4 #1 singles in 12 months, and Billboard credited him for hip-hop's resurgence, stating that in 2024, hip-hop dominated 38% of top 10 hits, bouncing back from 23% in 2023. Kendrick led with 8 top 10 records, while Cole wasn't even listed. While Cole could argue that between 2020 to 2023 he was the biggest and best mainstream rapper, his influence never reached Kendrick's 2024 dominance. As Cole once said, "You can try to rig the game, but you can't fake influence." The battle with Kendrick forced Cole to reevaluate. He admitted he'd been on the right path for 10 years, but this battle was a misstep, making him feel like his younger self, trying to please the crowd while remaining authentic. Jumping in was about proving himself. Backing out was a statement of staying true to who he is. Cole started 2024 hungry, teasing new music, then released and deleted. Might delete later, before refocusing. He leaned into his strengths, his passion, storytelling, and authenticity. He launched an audio series, reflecting on his journey, early struggles, and creative process. He revived the blog era, reconnecting with fans through personal insights rather than industry hype. Forget Big Three, talk or reviving a sport that's dying. When Cole was making that claim, hip-hop was at its lowest. If he wants his greatness recognized, it won't come from proclamations of being the GOAT. It'll come from displaying passion, authenticity, and craft, things we see in his latest release, Clouds. Here, he explores new flows and impactful themes: media's glorification of trauma, corporate greed, AI's effect on society, and cell phone addiction. He raps about staying connected to God, owning struggles, and the importance of nurturing one's craft. His bars like, "If you don't water your lawn, it won't stay green," emphasize personal growth and perseverance. Cole's best moments arise from authenticity, not competition. He attacked Kanye more ruthlessly than Kendrick because it came from a real place. He may not weave conceptual projects like Kendrick or achieve Drake's chart dominance, but he connects with his audience like no other. His legacy isn't in numbers or rivalries, it's in passion, integrity, and staying true to his artistry. That's where J. Cole's greatness will always lie.